One of the most commonly used techniques when modeling is to take a basic primitive object and break it into smaller workable pieces using a series of sub-object commands. Once those additional sections or areas have been added in, you can then reshape the object providing whatever details are needed. It's a process that most animators refer to as box modeling. This video offers a handful of techniques to illustrate how it's done. As the name implies, box modeling typically starts with creating a box, although most any shape can be used. Let's go ahead and create one in the top view. Now once we've done that, let's go to the Modify column and we'll type in a few values. Let's take the length to 50, the width to 50, and our height to 125. Okay, now once you've done that, we can activate our perspective view, and we'll take that full screen with the Alt-W shortcut. To center our object, let's now type Z. Now we're going to want to see our geometry as it's added in, so let's go ahead and turn on edged faces. That's the shortcut key F4. If we now throw in a few segments, we'll be able to see them in our viewport as they're added in. For this example, let's leave the length and width segments set to 1, and we'll take the height segments to 3. Okay, with these extra levels we've built in, we can now add a few additional details. The commands we'll use to do that will be available anytime an object has been switched into an editable poly state. That can be done in either of two ways, either adding an Edit Poly modifier or simply right-clicking on the object and converting to an editable poly. For this example, we'll do the latter. Just know that either way you go, you're going to end up with pretty much the same set of modeling commands. Okay, let's first take a look at the Extrude command. Over in the stack, open up the editable poly, choosing the polygon selection. Now, in the view, click on the top polygon on the box. Let's now hit Z to center that. Now this gets us pretty close in, so why don't we go ahead and zoom back a little bit by rolling our wheel. For the Extrude command, we'll go back to the Modify column and head a little farther down. Under Edit Polys on the left-hand side, find the Extrude button and click. Now, if you put your mouse on top of the polygon, you're going to see the cursor change. Hold the left mouse down and simply push up. Now once you've done that, go ahead and get out of the command by right-clicking. We'll deselect the polygon and we'll hit Z again to center. So a new fourth level has been added to the top of our box. You can also work on more than one polygon at a time. When making a selection, all you simply have to do is make sure the Control key is down as you click. Let's select the two outside polygons on our second row. Now once you've got one selected, to orbit to the other side, use the Alt middle mouse wheel combo. Let go of both the Alt key and the middle mouse wheel, then hold down Control, clicking on the polygon. Let's now orbit around back to our original orientation. Many of Max's modeling commands can also be found by simply right-clicking on the screen. In the lower left-hand square, go ahead and activate Extrude. Now we'll go ahead and extrude both polygons out. With the polygon still selected, we have access to all of our transform commands. We can move, rotate, and scale. Now the scale command can be done either in one direction at a time, or the other, or both by lighting up the gold triangle when scaling. Why don't we also remove the selection brackets around our object by typing J. Many editable poly commands also offer option boxes where additional controls can be accessed. These adjustable settings come in the form of what is referred to as a caddy. Let's orbit around so we're looking at the bottom of our box from pretty much straight ahead. Now, using the crossing type of window selection, let's go ahead and select that last row of polygons. Now be careful that you don't get the polygon on the bottom. If you did, hold down the Alt key and click on that poly. That'll deselect it. To activate the extrude options, we can right-click on the screen, then choose not the word extrude, but the option box to its left. Now this brings up the caddy. The caddy can be moved from side to side by simply grabbing its title at the top. Orbiting the screen will keep the caddy perpendicular to the view. Going down to the second level of the caddy, we have a couple different ways that we can extrude these four polygons. Go ahead and click on the arrow that points down. You can choose by group, by local normal, or by polygon. Let's use that. The third level down gives us the spinner control for the amount. Let's change that to right around 60. Now at the bottom level, you've got controls for accepting the extrusion, canceling out, or adding to it. If you're happy with what we've done, we can click on the green check mark to accept. If you want to cancel out of the command, deciding not to use it after all, you can simply click on the red X. If you want to accept the extrusion, but leave the option box open for a second extrusion, you'd click on the green plus sign. Let's accept by clicking on the green check mark. Why don't we go ahead and scale these polygons down a tad? Let's now orbit to the bottom of our box, selecting the large square polygon. Now once we have that, we'll again type Z to center. Max also offers a bevel command, kind of a combination extrude and scale. Over on the right, you'll find it directly below extrude. Back in the view, with our mouse on top of the polygon, we'll go ahead and extrude up. You can also bevel inward if you'd like. This time we'll pull down, let go, then pull down farther. If we orbit around, we can see the results. Go ahead and get out of the bevel command by right-clicking on the screen, then click away to deselect. That polygon that we have on the inside is one big poly. Now, frankly, it's a little bit tough to see at this point because the grid's getting in our way. So let's go ahead and turn that off. What I'd now like to do with that middle polygon just mentioned is divide it into 4 smaller, equally sized polys. We can do that using the tessellate command. And we'll cover this in the next section.